For the first time at the top of the bonfire, the outhouse is not white and orange, but it's black and gold, representing the University of Missouri. Within 4 days, all of the blood collected here will be distributed to servicemen and women in Iraq, Afghanistan, and VA hospitals throughout the nation. We're doing a road test to show how texting while driving can be a hazard not only to yourself, but others on the road. It's the first time the police department is hosting National Night Out, and some residents are already excited about it. This tent will serve as a drive-through where volunteers will prepare over 1,000 meals in boxes and load them into vehicles to be delivered. Emergency responders form a procession down Highway 21 to honor a fallen brother, Lieutenant Eric Wallace. Salutes from colleagues showing respect and honor. Judy Cantu actually saw the fire at the Knights of Columbus Hall and brought flowers to the scene.
He had a family, I think, and it's kind of sad to lose a person while they're doing their job.
Judy, like so many, is surprised by what happened last night.
I heard the fires, and as soon as I was getting closer home, I started seeing the smoke. As soon as I drove up, I seen this.
Jose Venegas and his family also made a stop this morning to see the damage.
It's wild, it's different, because I ain't never seen nothing like that, nothing happen like that. Like a real building really burned down,
Residents are sad to see the landmark go, one that was set to host an event Saturday evening.
My cousin had her quinceañera in September there, and her friend was having it tonight, so it's kind of sad it's gone now.
As for firefighters,
they put their life at risk every day. If something happens, they got the big risk of, dying.
Many are mourning the loss of a local hero, but applaud the commitment that firefighters make for their safety every day.
Just thank you for doing your job. I know it's difficult, especially with fire. You never know if it's going to come out good or bad.
In Bryan, Selina, Affram, News 3. Last night, hundreds of people waited in line for the Twilight Breaking Dawn Part 2 premiere. These two moviegoers were caught up in the excitement of the premiere and unaware of a bomb threat that had just been called in.
I think we should have been told, if everything was cleared, I think they should have told us, hey, this is what happened, and everything's fine though, we just want to give you a heads up.
Cheryl Castaneda, a Caldwell mother of two, was worried about her safety after hearing the news.
They never checked underneath anyone's chairs or did any research in the buildings. They just checked behind one spot. If they can clear the whole A&M campus when there was a bomb threat, I'm thinking they could have cleared this little theater.
Those we spoke to say even though they didn't know about a threat, they should have had an option to leave. Premier management says last night's threat was nothing but a hoax. Management said the decision to evacuate was ultimately left to the police.
It's in our general orders that the manager of the establishment is the one responsible for that premise and to make the decision to evacuate.
Police say they did do a sweep, and both police and management say they wanted to avoid a situation of chaos and panic. These two are just glad no one was hurt.
I guess just be grateful for what you have, and just in any situation, everything could always be worse.
If caught, police say the person who called in the bomb threat here to the Aggieland Premier Cinema Theater could face a charge of false report, which would be a $4,000 fine or up to a year in prison, or could be charged with a terroristic threat. In Bryan, Selina, Affram, News 3. People like to be connected, and with cell phones almost everywhere, they ultimately end up in cars, often being used while driving. Travis Lewis usually has his cell phone attached at his hip, but says there's a time and place for everything.
If I can wait 5-10 minutes to get to wherever I need to go and then text my friends, and they understand.
Annie Tadvik drives for a living, delivering for edible arrangements. Through her job, she has seen it all.
Speeding and for long periods of time, and they're texting. But I think what it comes down to is that we're just really obsessed with it and we don't want to let it go.
The Texas legislature has bills in both the Senate and House with the goal to pass a law banning texting while driving. Researchers have been conducting tests on texting and driving for years. The Texas Transportation Institute released their findings on what they say can be a deadly habit.
Texting essentially doubles the driver's reaction time.
Here at the TEAX training course, we're doing a road test to show how texting while driving can be a hazard not only to yourself, but others on the road. At this abandoned military runway at the Riverside campus, west of Bryan, an obstacle course was set up for us. Cameras were set up in and outside of the car to capture my every move. Going up to 35 miles per hour, I tried to maneuver the course while texting. If those cones had been people, someone could have seriously been hurt. Back on the real streets of Bryan College Station, Tadvik doesn't need to see a study or an obstacle course to know how dangerous texting and driving is.
If it's affecting more than just one person, if it's affecting more than just you, then it seems kind of selfish to think that it's okay to be texting and driving.
Selina, Affram, News 3.